What up, YouTube? I'm Anwar, and welcome to the War Room. Yeah, man, I'm just hanging out right now, watching a little bit of this MSU Notre Dame game. It's not looking too good right now. Notre Dame's got the lead. A lot of costly turnovers by Lewerke. My play cousin LJ Scott fumbled on the 1 yard line. So this is the third time he's fumbled in 3 games this season. But, that's still my guy. Much love to LJ Scott. You just got to turn it around. But it's not looking good right now. We're in the third quarter, 35-10, 6 minutes left. Um, you know, Notre Dame just came out and just punched MSU right in the mouth this game. But to some degree, it's just, we really shot ourselves in the foot, with the fumbles, the pick six, Lewerke's fumble as well. So, I don't know. This has always been a tough matchup for us, pretty solid rivalry going back to the 60s. So, while I'm watching this game, I just wanted to do a rundown and a recap of some of the things that have been going on lately and just kind of give my perspective. So, first off, I had made mention in my last podcast that I'm uploading some of my fantasy football picks. And that Thursday night game was solid. I watched quite a bit of it. LA looked really good. They're looking like an up-and-comer coming out of the NFC West. Todd Gurley played amazing. Had 3 touchdowns. Dang near should have had 4. They stopped him on the goal line. Carlos Hyde had a really good game. I played him as well. Sammy Watkins, like I told people, I played because I liked the matchup, had a really good game. He ended up scoring 2 touchdowns, 7 catches for 142 yards, but then he ended up catching a concussion. Same thing for Tavon Austin. He got a touchdown as well on, I forget, it was like a wide receiver handoff or whatever it was, but he scored a touchdown. He's in concussion protocol as well. But that was a really good game because usually Thursday night football games haven't been that great in these last couple years since they've implemented that into the NFL schedule. So that was probably one of the better Thursday night games I've seen in a long time. So I'm gonna do a quick little rundown of what I think my games are, what my lineups are going to be for the rest of the week, and talk about the Lions and the trade with Carmelo that happened earlier today. So in my major money league, the $250 league at ESPN, I didn't play anybody that week. Matter of fact, I had Sammy on my bench, and he got me 29 points. So, trials and tribulations of fantasy. But I couldn't take Mike Evans or Brandon Cooks out. I had Christian McCaffrey, and I've got Theo Riddick in my flex. Maybe I should have played Sammy instead of Theo or Christian, but I'm going to that Lions game tomorrow, so hopefully Riddick does something for me. So I'm going to be superstitious on that one and keep Theo Riddick in the lineup. So maybe I could have took McCaffrey out, but he's playing against New Orleans, and they got a really suspect defense, and they're playing at home. So I think that'll bode pretty well for McCaffrey, but we'll see. But like I expected, Sammy ended up having 6 receptions for 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But he had a really big game. So as of right now, my lineup is going to be Kirk Cousins, Buck Allen, Mike Evans, Brandon Cooks, Delaney Walker, Christian McCaffrey, and Theo Riddick, because I got a double flex in this league. And I've got Minnesota's defense. I might end up having a stream of different defense. Minnesota's been struggling lately, but I'm going to run it now for right now with Tampa Bay and Gostowski. And then in my other league, my little baby league, that's like a $10 league, whatever, my man, Derek, the only one that played for me, I had Rams defense, and they had quite a few points early on, but then that ended up becoming a shootout. They ended up only giving me 2.5 points. So I didn't really expect Brian Hoyer to play that well, another Michigan State guy. But he did pretty well, couldn't pull out the victory. But like I said, I'm still going to go with Phillip Rivers, Leonard Fournette, Ty Montgomery, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Eric Ebron, Keenan Allen, and Dan Bailey as my kicker. And then over here to my Yahoo leagues real quick. I've got some pretty substantial leads right now, but that all could change. So in my first league, like I said, I played Todd Gurley, and Todd did great. He had 28 rushes for 113 yards, 2 rushing TDs, and then he ended up catching 5 receptions, 36 yards, and a touchdown. So Todd got busy for me. Like I said, I figured he was going to have a bounce back here. Now that you got Watkins out there, Tavon Evans, and Jared Goff another year under his belt, I figured that would open up a lot of holes for Gurley not having 8 in the box. So he did what I expected. He got the job done. So in this league, I'm going to go with. I'm kind of torn right now. I got Phillip on my bench, but as of right now, I got Drew Brees, Antonio Brown, Tyreek Hill, Ezekiel Elliott, Travis Kelce, and Theo Riddick. And like I said, with Phillip Rivers playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, losing Eric Berry in the secondary, I'm kind of torn right now. And they're at home. Drew Brees doesn't really do too well against Carolina, so especially on the road. So I don't know, but I think I'm going to ride with Drew Brees. It's hard to go against him. So hopefully that'll pan out. And then for my defense, I've got Mason Crosby and Seattle. I'm sorry, for my kicker, I got Mason Crosby and Seattle for my defense. And then in another one of my leagues, I've got Sammy Watkins in this league, and he got me 28 points in this league. And then I've got Tom Brady, Deshaun Jackson for right now, Le'Veon Bell, Marshawn Lynch. I ended up having to pick up Evan Ingram, and I've got Leonard Fournette. I've got Jimmy Graham as my tight end, but he's nursing an ankle injury. And I'm kind of torn about playing Kenny Galladay. He struggled last week against New York. Atlanta's going to be a pretty tough test. I don't think he's going to have too much coverage as far as true font, but I like Keanu Neal and some of the other guys they got out there. So I think I'm going to have to keep Galladay on the bench, but my luck, he's going to end up balling. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that one, maybe. But I like what Jackson can do. He's kind of a hit or miss guy as far as a big play, but when he does make a big play, he ends up a lot of times getting a touchdown. So I think I'm going to end up riding with Deshaun and leave Galladay on the bench for now. So we'll see how that goes for me. And then I've got Gostkowski for my kicker. And my defenses, I've got Denver and I've got Detroit. I played Detroit last week. They did really well for me. They've actually been one of the better defenses in fantasy so far. But I don't like the matchup against Atlanta. I think that's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I think my prediction, I said in my other podcast, or vlog, I think I have Detroit winning 35-28. So that won't do too well for my defense. So I'm going to go with Denver against Buffalo. I think that's a better matchup. Then in my other league, my other major money league, that one's for $150. I got 42 points from Todd Gurley in this league. Everybody's scoring's a little different. There's different incentives. So right now I'm up 42-0, and hopefully that works out for me. So in this league, I had Derek Carr in against Washington. That's the late game on Sunday at 8:30. But I'm going down to the game, like I said. I got to play my man Stafford. I think he's going to put up substantial numbers. I think they'll score at least 35 points. So I'm going to ride my man Stafford. And hopefully it'll bring me some luck being down there in the city. And I'm going to go with Amari Cooper, Terrell Pryor. Tevin Coleman is my other running back right now. I ended up having to pick Eric Ebron. This is the first time I've ever picked him up. And I picked up Christian Thompson, the Washington running back. And he's at my flex right now. I don't have anybody that I want to take off of my bench in this game other than, like I said, having Derek Carr. And then I've got Matt Prater and Pittsburgh's defense. So as of that, aside from that, I've just got nobody else. I don't have anybody else that's done anything. Nobody else has played right now. So, like I said, I'm going to just get to these other topics real quick that I seen that were going on. So right now, for all of you that don't know, it's pretty much official. Carmelo has now been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He got traded for Enes Kanter, Doug McDermott, and I think it's a first-round pick. So I'm kind of torn on this whole situation. I can't necessarily knock Oklahoma. Now you've added another potential offensive juggernaut to the West that's already loaded with all these other teams. It's definitely weak in the East, but on some ends, I can see the pros in possibly having Carmelo because obviously he's one of the best scorers in the league. I mean, Westbrook had issues last year, guys being wide open and not capitalizing and making shots. So I don't think he'll have those issues with Paul George and Carmelo on the wing. And, for potentially a one-year rental, it looks like Sam Presti's putting all his cards in, and he's trying to make a substantial run, hopefully, to keep some of these guys there. So I don't know how. I don't think this is going to work out too well. But for a one-year rental, I don't knock him for giving it a shot. And the reason I say I don't think this is going to work out, you got three guys that are ball dominant. That's clearly Russell's team. He's clearly going to be the facilitator. But, in a situation like that where those guys need to have the ball in their hand pretty much the whole game, I think it's going to end up being a conflict of interest offensively because when it's crunch time, case in point, is it going to be Russell taking the shot? Is it going to be Carmelo taking the shot? We know Paul George wants to take the shot, but statistically he's god awful. I think he's 0 for 17 as far as game-winning shots. So under those circumstances, you got to go with Russell. But, having so many alpha males on one team, I don't know. Somebody's going to have to take a step back. And like I said, being in already a crowded Western Conference, I think they make the playoffs. I think they'll probably be one of the bottom seeds, somewhere around 6, 7. But I mean, like I said, you're going all in. Hopefully you can make a run. But if not, you're in a serious situation because every single one of them is available to leave. Russell can opt out. Paul is going to be a free agent. We already know he specified he wants to go to the Lakers. And no telling what's going to go on with Melo. I thought Houston was in the running to get Melo, and then also had her rumors about, him going out to Portland. So once again, Oklahoma comes in like a thief in the night and ends up pulling a major deal. And to only have to really give up Ennis Cantor, Doug McDermott, who hasn't really panned out. And I don't know where that first-round pick's going to be. I'm assuming it's not protected. So if it's a team that does make the playoffs, you're talking about a lower-level first-round pick. So I guess to put, all your cards on the deck and try to make a real run in the West, I can't necessarily knock the move. But like I said, I think ultimately maybe they all leave. The only one that possibly would stay is Russell because, he had made his comments about Durant leaving and not having any loyalty, so on and so forth. So it's going to be interesting. So, yeah, it's literally going to be a slugfest, I think, in the West. Everybody's going to beat up on each other. I still think clearly the Golden State Warriors are the best team. But it's going to be tough because if Oklahoma is an 8th seed or a 7th seed, like I said, that's right out the gate. Golden State's got to play a team like that. So, so hats off to Sam Presti for, trying to reload a year later after losing Kevin Durant. So it's going to be interesting to see. But ultimately, I don't think this is an ideal situation for any of those guys. But I can't knock him for trying to add as much firepower to OKC. And if you're an OKC fan, you got to be excited right now because you got 3 of the most offensively dominant players in the game. So they should be able to light up the scoreboard. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you guys tell me what you think. Give me some comments. You think this is going to pan out? Are any of the guys going to stay? And if so, who will stay? Where do you think they're going to end up in the playoff seedings? Let me know what you think. And then next I see that the Lions extended Jim Caldwell. Liking this move. I really like the offensive coordinator. We have Jim Bob Cooter, and I really like Terrell Austin, our defensive coordinator. I know they were talking about during the Giants game about Caldwell. He's 29 and 21 overall being a Lions coach. He's one of the more winningest Lions coaches we've ever had. He's won championships as being a coordinator and an assistant on other teams with Baltimore and the Indianapolis Colts. So, I like what he's provided. I really like what Quinn is doing, trying to provide some stability on the team. So I really can't knock some of the things that he's done. And, he deserves it to some degree. I mean, we've been a really good playoff team. I mean, not really good playoff team. We've been able to make the playoffs. It looks like we're heading in the right direction. We're making some really solid picks as far as draft picks. But it sounds like, as far as the injury report, Jerry Davis is going to be out. He got a concussion from that dirty block in the back by Odell that didn't get called. That was some shady shit. Definitely don't have no respect for that. You could have really hurt that man. So he's not going to be out there. And Tavon Wilson isn't going to be able to go because he's got a shoulder injury. And then on the Atlanta side, I'm seeing that Vic Beasley isn't going to be able to play. So that's one less guy we have to worry about coming off the edge. We really only got to worry about McKinley and possibly Dontari Poe coming up the middle. But, and then, so like I said, as far as that, I think that'll bode well for us. One less defensive threat that we have to deal with. And to round this whole thing out, because I got to get up out of here, I'm going to go hang out since this game is about to be over. Shout out to my man, my little bro, my man Marcus Ryan, up-and-coming rapper. Just dropped his new debut album. You can find it on iTunes. It's called ButterFlies in August. And I was just listening to it. It's got 9 tracks on it. I'm loving the vibe that he's got. It's a nice, chill album. Something, you want to get get your little drink, get your little paraphernalia, whatever you do, and you can sit back with your lady or your lady friends and kick it and have a good time. But shout out to my man. I'm really liking the album. I got to listen to it, the whole album, a couple of hours ago. So I'm just I just want to give a shout out to my man. That's my dog. Much respect, much love. I've watched his journey since the very beginning. When we first started to get down with this whole CCW movement I got going on, we were trying to do the rap thing together, and then I ended up kind of falling out of interest with the whole rap game, but he still kept it going. He was always the workhorse, and I'm just really proud of him, and I'm just happy that all this hard work is paid off, and it's just so crazy to see that, all this time and energy that he's put into this. Now he's got an album on iTunes. So some of the tracks that I'm liking Butterfly, Three Ohios, Expectation, All Day with Packy and Cyrus. Shout out to Cyrus, my man. And I'm liking Drugs and Drugs Part 2. I mean, it's a really solid album. I played it all the way through. I really enjoyed it, man. So shout out to my little bro, Marcus Ryan. Check him out, man. It's a really good album. And I'm going to have him on my little pod. We're going to do a little interview, and we'll be able to really go in depth and really talk about his journey and have an opportunity to reflect. So salute to my man. Much love. Keep up the good work, man. You're destined for great things and much more success. So other than that, I just want to round this out. Like I said, I'm going to the Lions game tomorrow. I'm going to try to do a quick little stream and try to show some of the new renovations they got at the stadium. But other than that, I'm going to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and y'all have a good night, man. I'll see y'all later.